The mechanics of online search are undergoing a structural shift. The days of hunting through endless shelves of information are being replaced by systems that just hand you the exact answer. For a long time, the rules of SEO were straightforward. Optimize your website to show up in the top 10 blue links on a search page, and you secure the traffic. But today, tools like ChatGPT and Google's AI overviews skip the links entirely. They read the internet, synthesize the data, and generate a direct response right on the screen. This diagram shows how Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO, works compared to traditional search. On the left, a standard query returns a vertical list of static links. On the right, the AI generates a response by actively pulling data directly from specific highlighted citation nodes. This creates a structural problem for marketers. Legacy SEO tools have scrambled to track this new AI visibility, but pointing out that your brand isn't showing up in an AI answer does not actually solve the problem. To succeed in AI search, a generative engine has to actively trust and cite your brand as a source. Passive ranking strategies simply do not work when the engine expects to synthesize the answer itself. When your organic traffic starts dropping because AI is intercepting the queries you used to rank for, you face an immediate choice about your marketing stack. On one side of the evaluation is BrightEdge. They are the established enterprise-scale analytics giant from the legacy SEO era. They've adapted to the current market by building AI Catalyst, a reporting feature designed to track exactly where your brand appears across 6 AI platforms. On the other side is GeoForge. This is a specialized, flat-rate execution platform built entirely for the new AI ecosystem. GeoForge actively changes what AI engines say about your brand by automating the content production and citation building. You have to decide if your budget is better spent mapping the exact dimensions of your visibility problem or funding an automated factory designed to solve it. Any strategy to improve your AI visibility is ultimately dictated by the raw data you feed into your software. This platform architecture matrix breaks down how these two tools operate. Looking at the first row for data source, you'll see BrightEdge uses a globe icon for public data, while GeoForge uses a secure server icon to denote proprietary data. BrightEdge relies entirely on scanning public web data and analyzing the pages that already exist on your live website. Because they scrape the entire public web, they can offer massive scale rank tracking and highly accurate competitive intelligence across billions of search data points. The trade-off here is that BrightEdge cannot inject new, unique insights into your strategy. You are working with the same public consensus information as everyone else, which makes it difficult to convince a large language model to actively cite your brand over a competitor. GeoForge takes a different approach with a system called BaseForge. It requires you to ingest your own internal proprietary data, things like subject matter expert interviews, internal documentation, and CRM signals. By using your unique internal data, GeoForge generates specific content that AI engines favor, but this approach only works if your organization actually has organized, high-quality internal data ready to feed the system. Your AI visibility strategy will hit a hard ceiling, depending on whether your platform feeds the search engine's standard public consensus or your very own unique internal insights. Once you know what data you are working with, the next step is evaluating how each platform behaves when a visibility gap is actually identified. Returning to our matrix, this new row highlights the action mechanism for both platforms. BrightEdge outputs a document report, while GeoForge operates like a factory gear. BrightEdge uses its AI Catalyst and Copilot features to map exactly where your brand is missing from answers across platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude. The resulting output gives you highly accurate, data-backed reports and specific AI-assisted recommendations on what content you should create. But BrightEdge does not write or publish that content for you. To close the gap they just mapped out, you still have to pay a human team of writers and outreach specialists to execute the recommendations. GeoForge approaches the exact same gap by automating the execution layer. It generates unlimited content based on your proprietary data, entirely bypassing human writing bottlenecks. Using a system called SiteForge, it actively conducts outreach to build a network of citations and then publishes the newly generated content directly to a CMS like WordPress or Webflow. The trade-off for achieving this scale and speed is control. To use GeoForge effectively, you have to be willing to surrender a significant portion of your manual editorial review process to an automated pipeline. Mapping an invisible zone in an AI overview has zero practical value if your team lacks the execution pipeline to actually build the content to fill it. The final operational criteria comes down to how these tools structure their billing and what resources you need to commit to keep them running. Looking at the final row of our comparison matrix for cost model, you will see BrightEdge utilizes a depleting credit token system, whereas GeoForge relies on a flat-rate calendar model. BrightEdge operates on a traditional enterprise structure. Contracts are quote-based, usually require multi-year commitments, and typically start around $30,000 a year. Because credits are consumed per keyword and per individual search results page, monitoring massive global keyword lists across different regions can rapidly burn through your allowance and escalate costs. GeoForge offers a transparent, predictable model. So a flat $1,250 a month, you get the software, unlimited content production, and citation management without ever tracking credits. But paying that lower price requires a direct sacrifice in features. With GeoForge, you lose the deep technical site auditing and traditional competitive rank tracking capabilities that an enterprise tool naturally provides. Gaining financial predictability and automated execution in a specialized AI platform means giving up the heavy auditing depth and legacy reporting scale of an enterprise suite. Choosing between these two platforms is not an exercise in finding the objectively superior software. It is about understanding what is currently slowing your team down. This decision tree flowchart starts with the only question that actually matters. What is your primary bottleneck? The left path is for teams lacking data and reporting, while the right path is for teams lacking content output. If you are a large enterprise or a Fortune 500 company with a robust software budget and a fully staffed in-house SEO team, you belong on the left path with BrightEdge. BrightEdge is the correct choice if your main objective is technical site auditing and BOD rank tracking across dozens of regions, and you already have the human capital standing by to act on premium reports. If you are a lean marketing team or a growth agency that requires predictable, flat-fee software to manage margins, you belong on the right path with GeoForge. GeoForge is the clear choice if your brand is sitting on unused proprietary data and you need an execution engine to automatically build the content and citations because human bandwidth is your limiting factor. The winning strategy is never about choosing the most powerful software in a vacuum. It comes from matching a platform's core capability directly to your team's most critical operational weakness.